Hello everyone and welcome to the live trading room recap for Thursday, October the 6th. My name is Barry Anderson. I'm the moderator of our trading room. This is the address to get into the room. I share my screen all day long and I'm live on the mic between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. If you'd like to take out a subscription to Trade Ideas, this is a link. Type this into your browser, click on it. You'll be brought to the subscription page and you will see a promo code there for you to use. And just to give you an idea, it's about $4.20 a day for Trade Ideas if you take everything we have to offer on an annual basis. All right, well, another excellent day, actually. Some early trades with Holly, but this is the one that kind of got me going. If you've been in the room for a while, you know that I've been talking about PTCT, and the reason being, take a look on the daily chart. You know, this huge void up here. I mean, we're sitting at 1383. You know, this is an area up here, $26. Not saying it's going to make it all the way up there, but this is what we like to see. And so I actually yesterday talked about it a lot, and you know, had a bit of a whippy day. Let me just get to the 15-minute chart. You know, I had a bit of a whippy day. It was up and down. Looked like it was going to try to break 14. It moved back down, and at the very end, it recovered a bit. And I said, I'm just going to take some in case, wake up tomorrow. Now, I didn't realize we were going to do this, but sort of a would have an anticipatory one. And I ended up taking the trade right at the end of the day at 1375, and I woke up to this. Fantastic. They released some data, not stage 3 though. So because it wasn't stage 3, I ended up selling most of my shares right here in the pre-market. It was 1471. So almost $1 on that, and then it started to drop, and I said, okay, I'm out. And so I got out at I think it was 1440, right around this area, and it just dropped from there. So certainly disappointing. I mean, I would have loved for this to keep going because of that void, but anyway, it just didn't happen. But that set up my day. Now, let's take a look at GNK. That's really the one that we have to look at. GNK was a Holly alert at 540 here at 541. All right, 541. Now look what it did after that. Now, to be fair, there was almost no way you could get into the trade at 541 because it moved so quickly. But as I've said, I don't know how many times, just because we don't get into a trade necessarily when Holly does, these are always great watch lists, these stocks. And so I was looking at GNK, and when did I get in at 635? So 635 is when I finally, probably on this, don't have the time exactly. I'm going to put a markup right there. It wasn't here, but on this next candle, right about here is when I took the trade, and it went down to 628, and then it just, look at this, it just exploded. These are 15-minute candles. It just exploded. So I was out of the trade at 735. 735 was right here. It says 737, but oops, close enough. I was out here, and then on the way down, look what it's doing now. But on the way down, before it broke down through the whole number, I got out at 711. The bottom line is this, though. Yes, here was the alert of Holly. It would have been very difficult to get it even close to that because it just zipped right up here. It was about 590, and I think it halted. I think it actually got halted right here. And then when it resumed, that's when it still had a lot in it. So now I actually did try to retrade this at 645, right around here. I'm sorry, it must have been 745. I did get stopped out on it, and I will consider looking at this later on in the day to see what might transpire. If it holds well, then I might get into it at the end of the day and maybe hold for a little bit of a swing. But I know other people are in this. Nice little pullback here in the 15, but I know other people are still in this, so congrats to them. Now, here's a bit of a disappointment. Excuse me, a disappointment. Now, let me shrink this up a little bit if I can. This is an IPO today, COUP, COUP. Okay, it won't. Maybe I can get to a different time frame. Yeah, not really showing it. All right, this is a little bit better. So here's the five. So here's where it opened at 10:30. Had a great run, and why I was watching this is Coup is in the same sector as NTNX and TWLO. NTNX is of course one that I had. This is an IPO, I believe it was early last week, and I took it. And I don't trade IPOs, all right, typically. But I took NTNX last week because the way it traded, it did this little bit of a consolidation, a little bit more up, maybe a little consolidation, had none of this whipping around. And so, we were all, a lot of us were thinking, well, this NTNX, because it's in the cloud sector, TWLO just had a fabulous IPO. So I took a bit of call it a bit of a risk, took some of it in the anticipation that because it closed well, that it might have a follow through the next day, and boy, did it ever. It, tacked on about $10. So this one, though, is not trading like that. So there's no way I'm going to be taking this one at the end of the day. It would have had to have, traded up in this area, did none of this. This is just whipping around way too much. So, but going forward, certainly we'll probably watch it, but just not today as a hold. And let's see, KBR. I'm in KBR. KBR is a Holly trade. It's really doing not much. The alert was at 16, I believe. Let's take a look. Yeah, the alert was the alert was 16 right here. Holly has actually exited this trade. I took the trade at 1605. Looked like it, right here. I think I took it at 1605. Thought it might be on its way up, and just really doing nothing. No reason to get out of it yet, though. Still have a couple hours left in the market, so you never know what might happen at the end. And I believe, if I look at the daily, I hope I'm right. The daily is, this is sort of a daily break. So hopefully, this will have some thrust towards the end of the day. All right. What else is there? Oh, I almost forgot. Huge, massive kudos to Tyler in our room for the call, the short on UVE. Now, unfortunately, a lot of these insurance companies, depending on how bad the damage is from the hurricane, these insurance companies could get hit hard. So anyway, I believe he saw this one right around here, and I didn't get in on the 20 break, and I got in. It took me a while because the uptick rule was definitely in effect here. I got into this one. I'm just going to have to check my. Forgot to write it down. Just 1 second. So 1959, right? 1959. So I got into this one at 1959, basically on this breakdown here. I mean, I was chasing it a bit, but it just looked like it had that downward momentum going for it. So I got into this at 1959, right around here. I took out a kind of a quick scalp on it at 19. I wish I had. Well, I think it's about 1925. I then got back into it on a short right here. Not quite 1897. Sorry. Not quite 1897. I think it was 1895 or 1894. And then look what happened. I mean, it just got all the way down to 18. I covered some along the way. My last cover was at 1819, and now it's had a bit of a bounce. But big kudos, big shout out to Tyler in the room for pointing this one out to us. I don't know how many other people took the trade, but I certainly did. And I've said many times, it certainly is not all about me, just all about me calling out trades for everybody. We've assembled a great group of traders in our room, and I say we're very stock centric. We rarely deviate from the topic of talking stocks and trying to point out opportunities for the room to follow. All right, well, itching to get back into the room, so I'm going to shut this down. Again, this is a free room. I share my screen all day long. I show you all my setups from Trade Ideas. I usually open the room at about quarter to 9. Then I get live on the mic at about 9 o'clock and go. I'll say I usually shut it down a little bit earlier than 4. It all depends. Sometimes between 3:30 and 4 though. And of course, all times are Eastern Daylight Time. So, and again, if you want to take out a subscription, this is the link to type into your browser, click on it, and you'll be taken to the subscription page. All right, well, thank you very much for listening, and we will see you tomorrow in our trading room. Bye bye.